What's up, party people? Hey, what's up, you guys? How's it going? Welcome into the pre-show before the free show. I'm Vianney Mario, and that's Greg Tepper.
Greg Tepper.
Off to the side.
I'll move to the middle.
There you go.
I have to move to the side when we do a different segment. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show for the free show and your official Super Bowl post-game show. A lot to get to in the Super Bowl post-game show. Did you have a good Super Bowl?
I did.
Superb owl.
I was at the Spraggins place.
That's the pickle.
To watch it.
That's the pickle's house, by the way.
Yes, that's the pickle.
A couple of thoughts on the Super Bowl.
Go ahead.
One, I understand if there are people who think that game was boring. I didn't think it was boring. I thought it was a masterclass in game prep because I think both teams came in really, really well scouted.
Yes.
I thought Mike McDonald coached circles around Mike Vrabel. I was really, really impressed, obviously, with the Seattle defense. Sam Darnold did not turn the ball over in the playoffs. How's that?
He didn't?
Nope.
At all?
Not once.
I thought there was at least one.
Nope. Didn't turn over the Super Bowl. Didn't turn over the nope.
No, right?
So impressive. His story is actually really remarkable. I'm happy for him. Seattle was very clearly the best team. I will also say this: I don't know how this Patriots team got to the Super Bowl.
People are saying the schedule was.
That is one of the most underwhelming Super Bowl teams I've ever seen.
Underwhelming, yeah.
They were like, what?
Yeah.
Drake May was a vote away from being the league MVP? There are two Drake Mays?
I agree.
He was awful last night. There was one,
great.
he threw that interception that really sealed the game, and the game was over.
Yes.
When it was 9-0. But like he threw that interception, and Chris Collinsworth goes on there, and he goes, I don't know if you heard this. He was like, I got nothing for you. I don't know where he's throwing the ball.
Wow.
It was as direct as I think I've ever heard an NFL color commentator.
That was Mike Tirico's first Super Bowl.
Was it really?
Yes, it was.
Boy, he's going to be a busy boy because I presume he's flying to Milan now.
Yes, he is.
Was yesterday the most expensive day of programming in network television history?
Was it?
Between the for NBC, between the Olympics and the Super Bowl?
Man, the NBC,
they spent a lot of money yesterday. I liked the Super Bowl or the halftime. My kids were getting down. My kids were dancing in the living room. I thought it was a really fun spectacle.
I think that's what he wanted, just everyone to dance.
It was fun. I thought the music was good. I don't speak Spanish, so like.
Oh, you don't?
No, I
thought you did.
I don't know if that's Hank does. So he.
Oh, I forgot.
Great.
Yeah,
he was singing along. But I thought it was great. Ricky Martin being 54 and looking like that is deeply troubling to me.
Beautiful.
That's
he
troubling.
Amazing.
54 and he looks like that. My God. But yeah,
it was great.
I paid almost no attention to the commercials. I was a little,
Yeah, it was a little underwhelming, I think.
We'll get to the Texans in a moment. We actually start the show. But there's one other person we need to hear from.
Oh, yes.
For the as we close out the NFL season, because what would the Super Bowl be without a report from our chief NFL correspondent, my mom?
Oh my gosh.
Hi, everyone. Last NFL Minute for this year. Congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks on their victory over the New England Patriots. Not a great game, but you know what? Kind of satisfying. Happy for Sam Darnold. Man, that guy. Talk about the comeback story. He's the one. But it was a great defensive battle, and you gotta enjoy that too. The best ads go to, of course, Dunkin' Donuts, the Budweiser commercial with Freebird, and the baby wanting HEB tortillas. Heck yeah. There were so many Texas high school football players that started the game on, first of all, New England's defense. Number one was Milton Williams from Crowley High School, Kayla Von Clayson from North Shore, and cornerback Christian Gonzalez from the Colony High School, who batted away a ton of passes from the receivers on Seattle. The MVP for me, the kicking game for Seattle. First of all, the punter, Michael Dixon, he went to UT, and that field goal kicker, heck, he was lights out. 16 points just from him. But anyway, it's been great talking to you guys, and next year, how about Bears? Chicago Bears in the Super Bowl. Yes, sir. Okay, see ya. Bye.
Thanks, Mom. It's the final NFL minute of the season with our chief NFL correspondent, my mom.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So thanks to her. By the way, one other thing. This is back-to-back kind of dud Super Bowls, right? You may remember last year
Chiefs and the
Eagles crushed the Chiefs.
Not great game.
This is actually, I looked this up. A fun fact for you. This is the first time. So here's what I would consider not an entertaining game, okay? If we will just give it a measuring stick. If it is at no point a one-score game in the fourth quarter. Is that fair? Is that fair? If it's not a one-score game in the fourth quarter, then you can consider it a dud?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is the first time that we have had back-to-back dud Super Bowls by that measure since 1992 when the then Redskins beat the Bills, and in 1993 when the Cowboys crushed the Bills. That's the last time that we had back-to-back dud Super Bowls. So we're probably due for a good one next year.
Hopefully.
So there you go.
This was definitely a dud.
Anyway, happy Super Bowl and happy Crudo Monday. Hit the theme, Expo. Yes, y'all. From the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show that is officially in the football offseason. Like now it is, right?
Officially.
My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the editor-in-chief of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. If you're watching us if you're pirating us.
Oh, gosh.
If you're pirating us. Thank you. Or you're listening to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. Our friend.
Wow.
Vianney Moreno. Hi, Vianney Moreno.
From one friend to all the friends. Hello.
Hello. Today is Monday, Crudo Monday, February 9th, 2026. A mere 290 days until the best day of the year. That's Thanksgiving. Happy birthday, happy belated birthday to our friend Sam Moore. He said to himself.
Happy birthday, Sam Moore.
Sam Moore. If you watched the picks this season and you particularly enjoyed the editing, you can thank Sam Moore. He's also the producer of he's a producer of the College Football Podcast, the Dave Campbell's College Football Podcast, as well as the producer of Dave Campbell's Rising. Correct? Do I have this correct?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Sam. He turns an astonishingly young age. He will be watching Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey to celebrate. It is episode 1913. On today's show, folks, we got headlines from across the state of Texas, including a couple of big-time coaching changes and just how much Texas shined in the Super Bowl last night. Then, back half of the show, I'm going to courageously unveil my top 5 toughest new districts in Texas high school football. UIL realignment has come and gone. We've got new districts across the state of Texas. I will courageously put my put my reputation on the line and say these are the 5 toughest districts pound for pound in Texas high school football. We'll get into that in the back half of the program. Do we have first 4 through the door, V&A Marino?
We do. We have Tony Blaylock, Joey Hill. Who is HPTS again?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Indigenous Go. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us. All righty. It's now officially the off season. Like, real live can't deny it anymore because football season's over. No more football until August, unless you count like the UFL, which I think gets cooking anyway. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about some headlines from across the state of Texas. Let's start in the DFW Metroplex and talk about one of what I ranked as the biggest coaching move in Texas high school football so far, and that is South Lake Carroll. You may remember that Riley Dodge, the long time, 8 years, head coach at his alma mater, South Lake Carroll, joined the staff at SMU to coach their tight ends. He has been replaced. That's not to say he got replaced. There's no replacing Riley Dodge, but he's moved on. That created an opening, and they have hired defensive coordinator Lee Munn. Lee Munn has been an integral part of the Dragons' success. He was on Dodge's staff starting in 2018. I've made this point before about South Lake Carroll, is that if you look over their roster, you won't necessarily find a ton of blue chip guys on the defense. They've got some great players, obviously, but you don't necessarily find those 4-star, 5-star guys. But they are always consistently excellent defensively. I think a lot of attention gets paid, understandably, because of their history to the South Lake Carroll offense and quarterback and receiver, right, and even running back. Because they have been a high-flying offense, and they were on the cutting edge of the spread kind of revolution back in the early part of the 2000s under Todd Dodge. I understand that, but I do think that their defense has been consistently excellent. Now, I will say one thing that is interesting, and Matt Stepp notes this in his article on TexasFootball.com. Lee Munn, who played collegiately at Mary Hardin Baylor, is part of Pete Fredenberg's legendary tree down there, which includes guys like Tony Salazar there at Austin Westlake. He's bounced around a little bit. His first job was coaching linebackers at Marble Falls under Todd Dodge. Then he went to Westlake with Dodge, and then eventually he was, in fact, part of the staff that was a state runner-up in 2015. Now he's back. He went to South Lake Carroll to join Riley Dodge's staff, and now he's going to be the new head coach. Of note, Lee Munn, undefeated as a head football coach. That's right. Lee Munn 1-0. You may remember back in that cursed 2020-2021 season when Riley Dodge was unable to coach his team in the state semifinal against Duncanville. Lee Munn was the acting head coach during that game, in which they beat and arguably upset Duncanville in that state semifinal game because Coach Dodge was in COVID-19 isolation. Now he's going to be the head coach. So he's 1-0. I'll just say that. So congratulations to Lee Munn, new head coach of the South Lake Carroll Dragons. That was, I don't know if that was necessarily, we talked about it on Tep and Step, and a new episode of Tep and Step gets recorded tomorrow. We talked about Lee Munn as kind of at least in the conversation. So I don't know if it's necessarily a surprise that he was hired. What I will say is a bit of a surprise is the next coaching change, which is that Rodney Webb, the head coach at Rockwall Heath, has announced that he will retire. He is retiring. He announced his resignation, and he is going to said that he is going to retire and go into. He's got a source indicate he'll be taking a job outside of the coaching world. This is a guy who was a THSCA Hall of Honor member joined in 2025. And especially in that Rockwall area. He coached Rockwall from 2013 to 2019. And in the last few years, he's been in charge of kind of rival Rockwall Heath and getting them up to speed. In Texas, he's 181-91 with stops at Royce City, Mesquite Horn, Rockwall, Denton Guyer, of course, and then Rockwall Heath. If you remember, back in 2022, he was also the athletic director at Highland Park for a season. He's a guy who's from DFW originally, a Garland guy, and so obviously a well-known, well-respected coach across the state of Texas, and we wish him the very best in retirement. Of note, if you go to TexasFootball.com, Matt Stepp, our Dave Campbell's Texas Football High School Football Insider, has a hot board up for this, and to about, let's see, how many is he list? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys to keep an eye on as guys who could be in the mix for what is one of the more attractive jobs in the DFW Metroplex. Rockwall Heath has come open, and so go check that out on TexasFootball.com. Matt Stepp's got a hot board for Rockwall Heath. We don't do a ton of recruiting news on this here program. We leave that to the friends with Rising, which is
Little
Greg
Crute, Big
Powers,
Crute.
Big Crute and Little Crute, Greg Powers and Mallory Hartley. I can't remember which one is which. All that's to say, I do want to make sure we mention this. Ty Knutson, the quarterback for Smithson Valley, has committed this weekend to Texas. Of course, he led Smithson Valley to a state championship in 5A Division I, back-to-back state championships this past year, and taking over the reins of the Smithson Valley offense and leading them to another state championship. Threw for 2,600 yards and 19 touchdowns. This is a pretty big get there for the University of Texas. He got an offer from them back on January 17th, and he pulled the trigger. Smithson Valley quarterback Ty Knutson, the newest commitment to the University of Texas. And then finally, let's talk a little bit more about the Superb Owl. Last night, the Super Bowl 60 went down with the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. By the way, how long do you think you could go without finding out who won the Super Bowl?
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like I could probably go 24 hours if I really locked myself in a room. All that is to say, a lot of Texas flavor last night. In there, you might have heard in the pre-show from our chief NFL correspondent, my mom, about this. I thought Byron Murphy, the defensive tackle for the Seahawks and the former University of Texas product out of DeSoto, I thought he was fantastic last night. He was all over the place. Of course, Jackson Smith and Jigba, the Rockwall product, was terrific. Tariq Woolen, we heard his name called a few different times last night. Fort Worth Arlington Heights product. There's a couple other guys like Josh Jones from Fort Bend Bush. Jalen Milrose is a Super Bowl champ there on the roster of the Seahawks. Elijah Arroyo, the Frisco Independence tight end, and then Quandre Diggs from Angleton, who I believe is on the practice squad, but part of the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. And then, as we mentioned, the Patriots were loaded with Texas talent, including, I think, their best player. Yes?
No, go ahead.
Christian Gonzalez was, in my opinion, very clearly their best player last night.
Yes.
Not even close.
Yes.
He was all over the place. The pride of the colony, making plays on the biggest stage. A lot of other guys there. My mom mentioned Milton Williams, the Crowley defensive lineman, who was very good last night. I thought their defense kind of held them in there, along with Caleb Von Chason, the outstanding edge rusher, kind of linebacker-ish from Galena Park North Shore. A lot of Texas talent out there, including there's Lake Dallas Falcon on the Patriots. Kobe Minor. Lake Dallas Falcons there as well.
Represent.
So a lot of Texas flavor out there in the on the Super Bowl stage. There always is, but it felt like there was a big flavor of the Lone Star State during Super Bowl 60. Of course, we've got a ton of great articles up there about a lot of these guys on TexasFootball.com and their road to the Super Bowl. If you want to go check out TexasFootball.com. We are Texas Football Tape. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at TCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Coming up after the break, my top 5 most difficult districts, toughest districts in Texas high school football now that UIL realignment has come and gone. But you might have thought that last night's Super Bowl was super, but you know what's even more super than that?
What?
The goods and services advertised here.
Pour some sunshine with new First Light Community Coffee's first ever light roast. This blend has notes of honey and brown sugar that will brighten any part of your day. Try First Light now at communitycoffee.com.
Hello, Candace.
Not you again.
Me again. Remember our last oil change? Your boyfriend said he knew a guy who knew a guy. None of those guys knew what they were doing, including you, Todd.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch our experts change your oil right from your car.
Thanks for coming in.
And finish in about 15 minutes. Valvoline. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Friday night football is here, and Hometown is trusted by thousands of schools across the nation to make game days effortless. Sell tickets online, easily scan them at the gate, track sales in real time, and keep your community connected with a free athletic website. Make every game a hometown game. Visit hometown.com to learn more.
One Texas high school will win bragging rights and a $5,000 award in the Texas Department of Transportation's Saved by the Belt Challenge. Students, all you need to do is go to texasfootball.com and pledge to always wear your seatbelt. Every seat, every ride, every day, and every night. The school with the most pledges will win. Buckling up can save you an expensive ticket and even your life. Click it or ticket.
Every legend starts with a vision. For Dave Campbell, that vision was clear. Tell the story of Texas football like never before. In 1960, he built something no one had before, a magazine that became the Bible of Texas football. Coaches, players, and fans didn't just read it, they lived by it. His words shaped the game. His vision built a legacy. And his name? It will always be written in the story of Texas football. Dave Campbell's Texas Football, where legends begin.
Texas football today, here in the aftermath of UIL realignment, which of course came down last week, 1 week ago. We were out there in Birdville, overreacting to the UIL realignment, where they reshuffle all the districts. And if you're having a week to think about it, I think I'm ready to put my stake in the ground here. I think I'm ready to make some bold proclamations about this. And specifically, what I want to do is take a look at the top 5 most difficult districts in Texas high school football. The most difficult, the most toughest districts in Texas high school football. I'm going to move over to frame up for what we're going to do here. So I want to talk about the 5 toughest districts in Texas high school football. Now, to be clear, this is pound for pound. So obviously, if you are in, obviously, if you are in if you're in 3A, you're going to be compared to all of the 3A districts. If you're in 5A, all of the 5A districts. And so I want to get to my 5 most difficult, my 5 toughest Texas high school football districts. We'll start with number 5, and that would be, maybe off the board here, I want to go to District 1, 2A, Division 2. Up to the Panhandle, you can see. That's the wrong one. We'll go to the first one, number 5. 1, 2A, Division 2. Okay? Because this district, I think, might be flying under people's radars a little bit. I want you to consider the fact that last year you had Groover. Groover was a team that was a state semifinalist a year ago at 12-3. Groover, still there. Also still there, Stratford. Stratford was a team that Groover beat in the regional final. So you have both Region 1 Region 1 finalists there in 1A Division or in 2A Division 2. What if you were to add in another state semifinalist? That's right, Stinnett West Texas dropping down from 2A Division 1 to 2A Division 2, adding them in to an already loaded district. And by the way, don't forget that Bovino was a playoff team last year. Bovino went 5-6 last year. They were a playoff team, and Vega has had great years as well. I think 2A Division 2 is kind of sneaky, flying under the radar, but I think 2A Division 2 is my 5th toughest district in Texas high school football. Let's go to number 4. Number 4, let's bounce to 6-man football. Talk about 1A Division 1, because I got to be honest, I don't know how you get a deeper district than this. Now, part of this, I want to be clear about this. Part of this is that only 2 teams in each 1A district make the playoffs, right? So when you consider Klondike, Sands, Borden County, Westbrook, Ira, O'Donnell, already you've got a 16 district. You've got only 2 playoff spots. I want you to consider Klondike was a state semifinalist in 1A Division II last year, moving up. Ackerley Sands was a regional finalist last year in 181. They're moving, or 182. They're moving up. Joining Borden County, always very tough, in a playoff team a year ago. Joining another playoff team in Ira. And oh, by the way, don't forget Westbrook, who missed the playoffs last year at 7-3. There was only one team in this district that did not have a winning record last year. And that was O'Donnell. And O'Donnell went 4-6. So they were not far behind. I am here to tell you, this is a legit 5 to 6 deep 6-man football district. I think you can make the argument this is pound for pound the deepest district in Texas high school football. It's 5-1-8-D1. It is crazy deep out there in that kind of big country area. You see the Big Spring right there as well. It's kind of in that Snyder Big Spring area. Okay. On to number 3, my third toughest district in Texas high school football. Let's go down southeast. Talk about 11 4A Division I. Another one that I think might be flying under the radar a little bit because you've got some newcomers to this district. Specifically, it's kind of taking a couple of different, how do I want to put this? You're taking a couple of different really good teams and smushing them together, districts smushing them together. Because you have Sealy. Sealy was a team in 4AD2 last year that went all the way, they went 11-2 in 4AD2 last year. Now they're moving up to 4AD1. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. They are joining, also moving up, is West Columbia. West Columbia won a playoff game last year. And oh, by the way, you know who also won a playoff game last year? Navasota. Oh, and by the way, do you know who also was a playoff team last year? Was Needville. And that is not counting the teams that swung over to Region 3 from Region 4. Bay City and El Campo, longtime rivals, of course, swing over into this district. Guys, Bay City was a regional semifinalist a year ago. They played on Thanksgiving. El Campo was a playoff team. So I want you to count the teams that made the playoffs last year. Sealy, Bay City, El Campo, West Columbia, Navasota made the playoffs. Needville made the playoffs. The only team that missed the playoffs, again, was Brookshire Royal. And oh, by the way, they were 4-6. They were a win away from making the playoffs, basically. This is a ludicrous district. And by the way, a decent amount of travel as well. Navasota up there in the Brazos Valley, not very near to Bay City. There's going to be some travel there. But I think 11-4A Division I is absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Let's go to my second toughest district in Texas high school football, and I don't think this one's going to surprise people. It's District 11-6A. Okay. So 11-6A, of course, had last year Duncanville and DeSoto plus Waxahachie. Well, DeSoto drops down to 5A. And all they do is replace them with North Crowley, the 2024 6A Division I state champs. So now you have the team. So North Shore obviously won the 6A D1 championship in 2025. 2024 6A Division I champion, you may remember, was North Crowley. Before that, in 23 and 22, it was Duncanville. So you have the teams that have won 3 of the last 4 6A Division I state champs in the same district. You add in Waxahachie, who had their breakout year a year ago, and by the way, early indications are they're going to be just as good. You add in Mansfield Lake Ridge, who joins this district, swinging over from District 3. Remember, this was a team that won a playoff game last year, an area round finalist. You add in another playoff team, playoff caliber team, moving up from 5AD1 in Red Oak. Add in Mansfield and Crowley. Mansfield was a playoff team a year ago. Crowley, I know, had a tough year. This is a terrifying district. A terrifying district. And it goes minimum 5 deep. Minimum. I think you can make the argument it goes 6, and depending on if Crowley can bounce back, 7 deep. This is a really, really tough district. But it doesn't get my nod for the toughest district. No. Let's go to my number 1 toughest district. It's got to be District 17 6A. Now, again, not going to be a surprise here. But I think that it might be, I think there may be an indication or a tendency for people to look at 17 6A, formerly 21 6A, I think it was, and say, well, just the same teams, right? And certainly, you're right. You've still got North Shore, the reigning 6A Division I state champs. You've still got CE King, a team that played for the 6A Division II state championship a year ago. You've got Summer Creek, a team that played for a state championship a couple of years ago. You've got Atascocita, perennial power, one of the very best teams in the Houston area. Kingwood is a team that can always give people trouble, right? A team that's made deep runs before. But I think people might be overlooking the addition of Crosby. And I think it was easy to write about, oh, boy, who got the short end of the stick on realignment, and look at Crosby because they're moving up, they get dropped into this district. And I understand that. But I want you to consider this. Let's count the teams that have played for state championships in this decade. Ready? North Shore, obviously. Summer Creek. CE King. Crosby. Crosby's not too far removed from playing for a state championship. This is a brutal district that got even more brutal. And I'm not sure. I mean, look, obviously, indications are you're going to look at the first 4 teams that I mentioned: Summer Creek, North Shore, CE King, Atascocita. And you're going to be like, well, those are the 4 teams that are favored to make the playoffs. And I don't disagree with you right now as I sit here on February 9th. What I will say is that I think Kingwood and Crosby are really good ball clubs. And they will have an opportunity to make the playoffs as well. Those are district champion type teams in other districts. That is why District 17 6A, in my estimation, is the toughest district in Texas high school football. 17 6A is going to be absolutely box office every week. And by the way, you better finish as high as possible. Because District 18 6A, your by-district bunkmate, you could be dealing with Dickinson or Barbers Hill in the first round of the playoffs. It is going to get good really early in the playoffs in Region 3. And the power nexus from where I sit is pretty clearly in District 17 6A, the toughest district in Texas high school football. What do you think is the toughest district in Texas high school football? Let us know in the comments. Let's go to Vianney Moreno to find out, for America's second favorite segment, final thoughts. I almost skipped ahead because we're recording Tep and Step tomorrow, and I normally ask you what you wrote down.
What I wrote down? I wrote down.
I do a lot of I do a lot of programming here. You're gonna need to forgive me.
We are recording Tep and Step tomorrow though.
Tomorrow morning, we sure are.
Yes.
You got final thoughts?
My final thoughts. Well, I didn't know it'd be just Super Bowl. I thought we were gonna talk Super Bowl in the final thoughts, but the Super Bowl was pre-show.
Did you guys have good grub?
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
I made sliders.
Mm-hmm.
The Ashley Pickle made her very famous jalapeno poppers.
Oh, those are very good.
Very, very, very good. Did you guys have any grub?
Yeah, I made wings in the air fryer, which are very good. Love those.
Wow.
And then we made pigs in a blanket. Because the other thing is we've got to.
Ooh, Goof brought pigs in a blanket.
We have to balance. My wife and I have to balance things that our kids will eat. You know what I mean? And pigs in a blanket, they'll eat pigs in a blanket. Yes. You know what I mean? They're probably not eating chicken wings. They're probably not. You can't get too exotic. So
can't get too crazy.
we went with pigs in a blanket, which were a big hit. And then football cookies.
Football cookies. Yeah, there was so much food last night that I brought a whole charcuterie board into the office.
Yeah, I noticed that. There's just a charcuterie board sitting
there
over.
There was so much food. It wasn't really touched, so I was like, might as well just share with the coworkers.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that. We're going to shout out on that here in a minute. That's going to do for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. For Vianney Moreno, I'm Greg Tepper. We will see you Thursday on Texas Football Today.